All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Diaspora. Welcome to Nigerians back home. How are you guys doing? Did you guys have a wonderful weekend? I did. It's Thanksgiving week here in the United States. Things are a little bit on the quiet side here in the US. Thursday's Thanksgiving. The roads are quiet. Few cars on the road. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these content, especially this week, because things are a little bit quiet on my side. So in order to stay busy, I'm going to keep on pumping out good quality content for you guys. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Please do me a favor and drop your location in the chat. I always like knowing where my audience is watching from. Are you in the United States? Are you from the UK? Are you watching from Canada, United Arab Emirates, China? Where are you? Let me know in the chat box. This topic today is actually, hey, how's it going? How's it going? As always, a lot of us back in abroad, we work so hard to build and invest back home, and obviously what comes with that is also security. So we're going to be talking about property security in today's session. But before we get started, who is currently building or planning a house in Nigeria? Let me know in the chat. And also, let's be honest with each other here. Do you rely on a gateman for true security? And then my third question to you is, what security frameworks or systems do you currently have in place to protect your investments? Let us all know in the chat. So today's topic is securing property in Nigeria and what my US military security experience has taught me. I'm going to share with you guys. Having spent 3 years in the US military, I did my fair share of guard duty. It's a little bit different. Obviously, if you're protecting a military installation or you're protecting a military base, it's a lot different from, let's say, private security. But those who are designing right now, and this is very, very common, you see, most Nigerian properties, both residential and also commercial, with security posts. There's usually a small building in front of the property near the gates. That is a security post. And more than likely, there's probably one or two people there just sitting down, opening gates, closing gates, greeting people, welcoming people in. They are the gatesmen. We don't really see a lot of gate women in Nigeria, but these are the gatesmen in Nigeria that most homeowners and businesses rely on for their security. I'm not saying that gatesmen are not useful. I think they need a job. If you have an establishment, you could use them. But you should not be using them as security. Gatesmen are basically greeters. They are assistants. In my own personal opinion, coming from a strict military security background, I would not hedge my investments on a gatesman. You can use their services for errands. You can use them for yard maintenance. You can use them for housekeeping, gate opening if you don't have automation, but you should never ever be utilizing gateman as your primary security layer. Let me give you just sort of a brief image of what true security looks like. And I'm going to share this from my own experience pulling guard duty in the United States military. So generally, you would have at least a minimum of maybe 3 or 4 people guarding a particular property. So the first thing that we usually do is we secure the perimeter. We have to define first and foremost, what exactly are we guarding? That is usually the first layer, is defining that outer perimeter. And this usually takes at least a minimum of like 4 people. We are all armed, by the way, armed with M16 assault rifles, armed to the teeth. We have our radios. And what usually happens is you would have maybe one person in charge of this section of the property, another person in charge of another area, and then we have what we call a rover. It's just a person that's armed. Like I said, we are all armed. The rover is the one that's walking the perimeter, both inside and outside. That is their job. Additionally, you also have a relief person. This is one person that comes in, and because you are not allowed to sleep on guard duty, you have to be completely focused. Because if your perimeter or your post is compromised, it could lead to serious issues in terms of your post being compromised. People could get hurt, people could get killed in the worst case scenario. So this relief person is what comes in, and based on the time, okay, you've been at this post for 4 months. Okay, let me come in and relieve you so you can go and get maybe an hour or 2 of sleep. And that's usually how it works. It's a constant rotation of security personnel. Now, the person that is roving might need to take a break from roving, and then he is replaced by a relief, or let's say someone in a foxhole guarding a post. That is usually, and in addition to this, you also have technological surveillance, CCTV cameras on the post. So that is covered. That is the true essence of security. At any given time, there's protection on that property at any given time. And then when that team is done with their duty, they are relieved by another team of 4. So at any given time, it's a 24/7, 365 days a week protection while you were there. Now, once that project or once that mission is done, obviously you're not there permanently. You move on to another mission and you repeat the process. That is what guard duty is. That is the true essence of security. Now, as a homeowner, if you don't have this in place, if you are not able to secure a property 24/7, 365 days, then you are really, honestly, just wasting your time. You are really just honestly wasting your time. Because the gatesman, which many Nigerians depend upon, is actually more of a liability to you than an asset from a security standpoint. You have a building plan. You have a certain area built for a security post. I think that is a waste of that real estate. That real estate can be used for something else. You don't need a gatesman. A gateman is not going to do anything for you other than opening the gate, closing the gate, allowing people in who shouldn't be in. The 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 um the benefit of having a gateman, I just don't see that. Now I give you another example. I traveled to Nigeria many years ago and I visited someone in Abuja. And this particular person has a house, gated house, with a gateman there as security. So I spent the night there and I was a little bit kind of skeptical at first because when I saw that person, I'm like, okay, this is okay, what's this about? So I spent the night, and then during while I was sleeping, you will hear the person who is quote unquote guarding the property with a baton. And they are running the baton across the gate, making all sorts of noise. And that happened to wake me up in the middle of the night. So the following day, I kind of brought it up to the homeowner, like, okay, what's this about? Oh, that's the gate man. That's the gate. And so obviously, my military mindset, my military hat actually came on, and then I'm like, well, so how is he really of service to you in terms of security? What sort of is he armed? I mean, how if something were to happen, if someone were to break into this property, like how is this individual going to protect you and also protect the property? And then it turned out that this person's weapon was a bow and arrow. I mean, you can't make this up. That was their weapon. If someone were to break into that property, they had a bow and arrow and also a stick. That was their protection layer. That was their security framework. And I immediately advised him, I said, listen, this, if I were you, maybe you should, if you absolutely have to give him a job, it should not be as a security. It could just be a person that's relieved of all security duties. Maybe have him just open the gate for you, wash your car, like use him more as an assistant, like a housekeeper than a security. So you can see how if you are not able to cover or do security the right way, you are better off just not doing it at all. And I'm going to tell you a route that you should probably consider taking. Because you have to remember this, guys. There's a lot of collusion going on right now. And majority of break-ins, security, um, compromising scenarios, it's usually done internally. So it's a lot of, and again, I'm not, it's not every gateman that does this, but it's usually and it's generally these so-called security gatesmen that are actually the ones setting up homeowners to be robbed. They're the ones setting up homeowners for break-ins. Because who else knows your ins and outs than your gateman? They know your coming ins, they know your going outs, they know your schedule. They know what is called in the US military the pattern of life because they're the closest to you. It's really easy for them to be compromised than it is for you to be compromised. It's usually these gatesmen, these security people. And when I see a lot of our people, a lot of diasporas who go home and then they'll go out there and hire security that they don't need, that is actually a risk to them because it's generally the security that compromises the people that they're protecting and also the homes that they are guarding. This is a true story. It happens all the time. So if you have a building design and you are considering building a security post to hire a gateman, and you also have to remember these guys are not security operators. Okay, where did the credentials come from? Are you just putting a body there and calling them a security? Where is the actual security training that they have? And is one person able to secure a property? They cannot. Gatesmen are humans. They will fall asleep on the job. More than likely, they're there by themselves. It's not as if that you have a team, a rotating team of security personnel. They will take a bathroom break, and when they do that, guess what? Who is now manning that post? Do they even have the licenses in Nigeria to carry arms? So technically, what I'm trying to say is it's a wasted investment if you are hedging the security of your property, your private residential property, or even your commercial establishment on a gateman or a gateman protection. It's literally a waste of time. Something happens today. Are they really going to be able to serve as an eyewitness? How much are they earning? Is a gatesman that you're paying 20, 30K? Because that's generally what they earn a month. Is that person really going to give it all up to protect you and your property? You are essentially, if you go that route, you are essentially paying for your own exposure. You are putting yourself in compromising situation by having an internal source. They know your pattern of life. Okay, gets out every day at 8 o'clock and returns by 4. Like clockwork, Monday to Friday. They are easily compromised, or they can be easily compromised. Now, put yourself in the shoes of bad actors. I'll give you an example. You see, if I were coming for you as a bad actor, the first thing I'm going to do, and again, I'm not trying to give tips away, is I'm going to study your pattern of life. And I'm going to identify your weak points. Who is closest to you? Who knows? For those with gatesmen, I'm going to observe these points, these weak points. I know that your gateman knows your movement. They know when Oga comes in. They know when Oga goes out. Who do you think I'm going to approach? Because as a bad actor, I'm looking for the path of least resistance. I don't want anything that's going to give me any friction. I'm going to turn your gateman into an asset. How much do they make? Say I get the project. How much do they make? Bros, this one where I did so at 20,000 they make for that job, bro. All right, I'll give you 200,000 naira a month. Who do you think that gatesman is going to be loyal to? Me or you? That is the reality in Nigeria. Let's not kid ourselves. They are not paid enough And for those who are traveling abroad and maybe they're planning on staying a while or what have you, you really have to guard your pattern of life. Meaning, maybe only one or two should really know your movement, where you are going to be. It shouldn't be more than one or two. And if you absolutely don't trust anybody, just keep your movements to yourself. Now, then, Rich, how do I secure my property then in this case? Since you're saying that I should not go the gateman protection route, and how do I secure my property? Usually, number one, start with adequate lighting. Because a well lit property generally deters bad actors. You don't even have to have somebody there opening up and closing gates, and just have a well lit property. A second protection mechanism would be to have your property fenced. I'm not talking about those Niger 12-foot fences. That's not what I'm talking about. Where you can't even see that's actually worse. If you're going to do that, if you're going to build a 12-foot fence where you cannot even see the actual building, you are better off just not having a fence at all. I don't see the benefit in. You go to all these Nigerian houses and you can't even see the house. You're essentially building a prison. A normal 6-foot fence is sufficient. A normal 6-foot fence, like we have here in America, it can be anywhere from 4 feet to 6 feet. That is really all you need. And then your gate, people should be able to see through that gate into the main house. Some of you have this open. Again, me, I don't understand Nigeria's version of security sometimes when I see these houses. Obviously, I'm not a security consultant. I'm just speaking based on my military security experience. They have these opaque gates. You can't see through them. 12-foot fences. You can't see what's happening inside the house. So let's say there's some sort of emergency going on. How are people outside going to be able to see and know what's happening? You need to have a gate that people can actually see the main building. So you have adequate lighting. How you accomplish that without the generator, there's a lot of solar energy, like solar street lights out right now that you can install across your properties. I have 17 in my homestead village, and I have 4 across my properties, across my property in Nigeria. 2 at the main gate entrance, 1 at the corner, 1 at another corner. So I have basically 4 inside my property, and then I have 17 on the main road. So you're going to need a well-lit property with a sound solar street light that comes on at night. Generally, when the sun goes down is when the solar lights kick in. So you're looking at about from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. There are lights right now. The one that I have, it's a 12-hour solar. I've had it now for since 2022, 3 years now. It's still running perfect. And then you have to install You have to introduce technology into your security framework. You have to have CCTV installed at sensitive areas, depending on the size of that of your property, depending on the size. But obviously, you want one at the main entry point that sees the street and also a portion of the interior of the property. You're going to need that. And you can monitor it remotely. This message is for those, primarily for those abroad. Like in my case, for the data on my CCTV plan, I only pay 3,500 naira a month, is what I pay. I can monitor my site remotely from my phone at any given time. There are features on there where you can activate motion to alert you on any sort of like on a motion on the site, depending on the perimeter that you set. You can set your own perimeter. It can be as small or as wide as you want that perimeter to be. All of that through your app. And then I also have a sign that I actually bought here in the US and I sent home that also says that this house is under 24/7 surveillance. And that sign is at the front of my gate. You see, this is a deterrence. It deters people. When they see a home that's well lit, when they see a home with CCTV signage outside saying that the property is monitored and surveyed 24/7, and then when they look up overhead and see that CCTV pointing at them and it's live, that deters people. Having a gateman is one of the worst security breaches that you can bring upon yourself. And also, building all these gate houses, it's outdated. That is valuable real estate that you are giving up. So somebody can do what? Open the gate, close the gate. Why do you need that? If you can't automate your gate system, get out of your car, open your own gate, drive in, close your gate. Why do you need a gateman for that? Is that not the life that you live abroad? See, this session is for those living abroad. How many of you abroad have a gateman waiting for you? If you have a property that has a built-in garage, I mean, you go in, you click your garage remote control, your garage door opens, you drive your car in, or isn't that how it works abroad? Do you not feel secure that way? Then why the need to go to Nigeria? If you're not going to do security right, you shouldn't do it at all. Man security, like having gateman and gatemen, these guys, I'm telling you guys, they're the ones that are colluding with people outside to rob homeowners. Why would you trust the gateman? A local person that doesn't know anything about security, why would you trust them with your assets? With my CCTV plan, you can record footage for 30 minutes straight. Sorry, for 30 days. So if there's any trespassing on your property. There's the footage there that you can show security officials, so that you can show law enforcement. Gateman protection is high risk. They are humans. What happens when they call out sick? Oh, bros, I can't come to work today. What are you going to do? These human assets is not how, and you see this very often too with like banks and commercial properties. I mean, you guys, I'm sure if you go online, you see if you see videos, if there's a robbery somewhere, the first person to run is that gateman. Somebody that's making 30,000 naira a month is not going to put their lives on the line for you. So perimeter lighting, very, very important. If you are even if you haven't completed your building yet, you are still in the early stages of your construction, you're going to need to have all of these things in place. You really don't need it. Even on a construction site, you don't really need what you need a gateman for. You don't need a gateman there. If you have CCTV system in place, you have adequate lighting, you have your fencing, obviously, and a gate. What do you need a gateman for? They are a waste of resources. If you want to hire one, if that is your thing, I'm not saying don't support people and give them jobs, but it should be hired more from an assistant perspective. Come here and clean up. What is a person with a bow and arrow going to do for you at night? And this other one too, while he was doing that, rubbing that his baton on the gate, he was also chanting. I don't know what he was chanting at night. I'm like, why is this guy making? I'm trying to sleep here. He was making all sorts of noise. I guess that is his way of showing his oga that is working, I suppose. Look, times have changed. We are now in a modern era. We are now in a technological era. AI. You are better off not having a gateman at your house than you are having a gateman. You see, my uncle lives in VI, Osaka, Japan. I think that's what they call nice area. The man doesn't have a gateman. Instead, he invested in an automated gating system. So when he's coming in, he presses the button, it opens up. When he drives in, the gate closes. And he has CCTV camera installed in critical point across his house that he can monitor anywhere remotely. You don't need a gateman guarding your assets in Nigeria. And this is another one. So a buddy of mine was this was one of those guys now that they are all afraid of Nigeria. So they see my activities in Nigeria and then they want to go home and he was asking me, hey man, Rich, can you recommend security? I need security, I need bodyguards when I get common consultant in the US. Regular citizen. He's in consulting. He wants security personnel in Nigeria to protect him. I told him, bro, that's ridiculous. Go to Nigeria, blend in, go about your merry way. Nothing is going to happen to you. Going around hiring so-called a security firm to protect you for the 1 week that you'll be in Nigeria. That is madness. You don't need it. It's unnecessary. I'm not saying security companies, there are security companies out there. I'm not saying that they are bad actors, but it's usually those guys. Trust me, guys, believe me. I've been in security spaces at some of the highest levels. It's usually internal. Internal theft, like I said, collusion. So for your security framework, it's really easy. If you're already in the process right now where you are, like my dad built in a property and then he had an area. I just said, no, we're not doing this. When I took over my dad's estate, I'm like, I'm not. What am I building a security shack for? A security building for what? So somebody can open the gate for me and close the gate when I'm in and out. So I can expose to somebody when I'm leaving and coming, so they know my pattern of life. Is that really? Am I that prideful that I need my gate open for me? Am I that prideful that I need someone to tell me, oh God, good morning, oh God? I don't need that. I just need you to. Here's what I need. I need my house cleaned. I need my lawn mowed. You don't need to be at my gate for that. Come in every 2 weeks. I'll give you a date and a time. 3 hours. Come and clean my house. Come in on Saturday at 2 o'clock. You say, I don't have to be there. The gates, I'll leave the gates ajar for you. Mow my lawn. When I get home and see that my lawn has been mowed and my property has been cleaned and the perimeter has been landscaped, I'll pay you for your services. When I go to Nigeria, guys, again, everybody's not like me. Nobody pumps my gas. Nobody knows my ins and outs. I lock my own gates and I open my own gates. I lock my doors at night and I open my own doors. You see, I'm the last person responsible for my own security. So when I lock that door, I know it's locked. When I lock that gate, I know it's locked. And then internally, I have my own protection mechanisms internally too. What do you need a gateman for? $2025? Opening gates, closing gates without they're not logging anything. Sleeping on duty, stealing. Are they not the ones? I am just grateful that I have the experience and the background that I do. And that is why people always ask, oh boy, you're brave, oh. You dey go Nigeria, me and me. I'm never entering that country. That is the sentiment. That is what Nigerians abroad are saying. There are other ways for builders out there. If you're watching this, you don't have to follow my recommendations, but I honestly don't think that you should be reserving a spot on your land to build a gateman house. It's not the 60s anymore. It's 2025 right now. If anything, use that area, make that area your systems area where you have your CCTV installed, other security uh, uh, um, frameworks and security things that you can put there, is that not better than you reserving that area to build a living space for somebody to open the gate and close the gate for you? All right, let's look at this. CJ, a good gateman, but that's insufficient. Gateman is just a proxy for you. I can't disagree. Need a steady hand to use that bow and arrow doing a scary break-in. I could not believe it. I actually saw the bow, and the interesting thing is there was only one arrow too. So me, I didn't quite understand how a security person is moving around with a stick and in this modern age. So yeah, that's really what a lot of people are doing right now, and then maybe they don't know, or maybe they don't see the benefit of technology, or don't see the benefit of CCTV. But I'm telling you, everyone that I have recommended CCTV to, and they've applied it and installed it on their site, I'm telling you, I sleep very well at night. I have a construction site right now in Uyu that I have CCTV installation. I think back then, 2022, I paid 225,000 naira was what it cost for the CCTV camera. No, sorry. It was a total of about 225,000 naira. The pole, I designed a pole out here, sent it, they manufactured it in Nigeria for me. And that's the thing about Nigeria, is you can get anything custom made and customized in Nigeria. So all in, from the CCTV camera to the pole to the data, all in was about 225,000 naira 3 years ago. And then every month, I just pay 3,500 naira a month, and I'm able to remotely, literally, anywhere on the planet with internet connectivity, I can open my app at any given time, move the camera around, and even talk to my team on the ground through the CCTV camera. My contractor said that was one of the best decisions I made, because prior to that, installing that CCTV, I had a lot of trespassing. People were just going in, because we also have like banana trees there too. They'll start harvesting the banana, or they'll go and tie something to the banana to claim ownership of it. The day that I installed that CCTV camera, and also you're gonna need this sign too. Even though that CCTV camera is present, I bought the sign on Amazon, and it just simply reads property under 24/7 surveillance. And I have that sign in front of my gate. You can't miss that sign. When people see that sign, they see the lighting, they see the CCTV, it deters them immediately. So there's no need for you to go and hire a gateman that you're paying 30,000 naira a month that could potentially put you at risk. It makes no sense. Some of it is big manism. That's also this big manism is also what is getting a lot of our people in trouble. It really is. Like I told you about my friend who wanted to go to Nigeria, and he was asking about a security detail. And I'm like, bro, you are a consultant in the United States. What do you need a security detail for? And I also don't understand the need for that big manism. You see, to me, I respect people who build companies, who create jobs, who uplift their environment and their communities. These are the people that I respect, and I think most Nigerians respect. That whole Oga, they open the door for you, they close the door for you. To me, I just don't see it. Like I don't see what other people see. So I saw a video on YouTube. It was yesterday. So you know the Tesla Cybertruck, right? Someone posted on YouTube. So they had a G wagon, a $230,000 G wagon, escorting a $100,000 Tesla Cybertruck, and it was like, "Hey, big boy, it's a car." So you guys in Nigeria, you get excited about just some of the silliest things. No one gets excited about cars in it. No, CJ, you're in Canada. When was the last time you got excited about a vehicle? A Lamborghini? Oh, excited for what? G-Wagon that you don't own, you are excited about. A house that is not your own, you are excited about. You see, abroad is different. None of that thing excites us abroad. But I guess in Nigeria, it's a big thing when people see a Tesla Cybertruck. It's like, oh man, this here it's just like any other. What's today? Any other Monday. I dropped my kids off today. Yeah, I probably saw like maybe 10. It's nothing. All right. So I just wanted to share my experience with you guys about my security experience, guys. Really, really, truly consider it. It's really unnecessary. I personally would advise against you building a security post on your property. I would advise against it. If anything, reserve that area for technology security solutions. You could even have maybe like multiple CCTV cameras there, one pointing to the street, the other one pointing to the main house, facing your door. That's a better use of your resources and your money than having a physical person there to open and close gates for you. You actually don't need that, to be quite honest with you. You could, if you don't want to invest in automation for now, you could just have like a normal regular gate. Like here on our property, it's just a normal regular gate. When I come home, I get out of my car, open my gate, drive in, close my gate. It's the same thing in Nigeria. I don't have an automated gate at the moment. I still have a manual gate that opens. And when I pull into my property, I get out of my car, open my gate, drive in, close my gate. I don't need to have somebody there. And like CJ said, that whole big man, big woman thing to open the gate for you and close the gate. What happens is when you put people like that in that sort of position, you are basically giving them your pattern of life. That is data that they can sell. And that is how a lot of individuals in Nigerian businesses also are being compromised. A lot of these bad actors, the first thing that they'll do is apply for security job. It's usually how it works. They can forge their documentation, they can forge their references. They'll apply for security job, and companies are hiring bad actors to be security, meaning they know when CEOs are going in and out. They know when employees are going in and out. When the focus should be on technology and not human assets. You don't really see that abroad. Okay. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Tune in. It's 50 minutes at 12. I'm going to be talking about how to start a YouTube business channel. You guys are going to want to tune into this if you are interested in learning how to build a business, build a YouTube business, because there's a difference. There are some people out there who are just launch a YouTube channel, But did you know that you could build a thriving YouTube business? Did you know that? People are doing it right now, and I'm one of those. And I'm going to answer 12 questions on how to build not a YouTube channel, but how to build a YouTube business channel. Keyword business. Okay, so you want to tune in for that at 12 noon US Pacific time. That's going to be 9 p.m. Nigeria time. So come with your questions, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. So thank you guys for tuning in and joining on this. Hope you find this informative and insightful. And if you do, please leave a comment and share, like, and subscribe. Okay. Talk to you guys later. CJ, see you later. Okay.